Monster RX93.1 presents The Morning Rush. The Morning Rush, the country's favorite morning program on FM radio. Music, laughs, all the hot tea, and the hilarious top 10. Your hosts, Chico, Hazel, Margie, and Rika. The Morning Rush.
Monster RX93.1 and hello everyone!
Hello!
Good morning!
I am so excited!
So excited for this!
Beyond excited!
This is the queen!
You just don't know it, but my hands are really cold.
I can't. I'm always so nervous.
Oh my gosh.
I always get so good kind of stress. I guess this is like right before you, I don't know, it feels like a sports, like I'm about to do like a sports competition thing. I don't know why.
Nag-vocalize ka na ba, Chico?
My adrenaline. I mean, look at me now.
Biglang ganun.
Okay, fine.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so without further ado, it is my absolute pleasure, no, honor, to present our very, very, very special guest. We have LEA Salonga. Oh my God!
Oh my
I always feel like I'm not worthy to share a screen with LEA Salonga.
Right?
We should have changed our videos to like heart emojis, like all of us with those heart eye emojis.
I'm sure people are freaking out. Hello.
Sorry. I mean, you're probably sick of people fawning over you, but you're going to have to do a little bit more today.
So how are you, Leah? How's
you?
everything? How's everything going with you?
Actually, okay. I guess if anything, this quarantine is forcing all of us to be resourceful and creative.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, with the things you have at home. I've been I dug into a stash of yarns. I've been crocheting. I've been knitting.
Oh, wow.
Like my daughter, she draws, she illustrates, and so she's just been really busy with that and hanging out with her friends, playing video games and stuff. So I mean, all of us here in the house, we're all finding things to do, and of course, I get immersed in watching a streaming service on a random show. But I tend to gravitate towards like cartoons. I've been watching a lot of cartoons.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
Like, what do you find for this?
Like what do I watch? Like on Netflix, I binge watched the entire 5th season of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
What?
Okay, wait.
Wow.
Wait. I know it's like, yeah, it's you'd think, you know, it's like it's She-Ra, and if you're a kid of the 80s, that you have a distinct memory of what She-Ra is supposed to be. It's like She-Ra and He-Man, but if you're an LGBT ally, it's like this is the cartoon that everybody's waiting for. It's like you have to see this. I cannot recommend She-Ra and the Princesses of Power enough. It's just so sad. It's satisfying. It got a Forbes magazine positive review. I'm like, why is Forbes magazine reviewing this? And when I read the review, I'm like, yes, I absolutely agree with everything. Because I had already seen it, and then it's basta. If you're a subscriber of Netflix,
I want to watch.
Okay, let's check it out.
Yes, you have to. You have to. And it's not a hard binge to, you know, if you have like 6 hours to spare.
Well, I mean,
We have time.
We were actually discussing one of this cartoons on Netflix at the moment, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I haven't seen it.
The second series has a lesbian avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. It was in the 2013. It was shot in 2013, or they illustrated it in 2013. And during that time, it wasn't really big. The whole LGBT in mainstream media, especially in cartoon. So watching it now, it would probably have been better if it had been released today as opposed to back then, because back then it didn't have as good a reception as it probably would have had now, right? So it's interesting what they're doing to push this to the kids nowadays, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
LGBT
and it's in
movement.
and it's not so much pushing because it's like you're pushing drugs or
Well,
something, but it's
okay,
more
we're not
of
pushing.
showing it's more of showing a world where there's going to be a generation of children. Of this I am sure. There's going to be a generation of kids for whom seeing two dads or two moms is not even a thing. Where it's like, oh yeah, my classmate has two dads, or
It's normal.
yeah, my friend has two moms. Where it's part of normal, where it's not seen as abnormal, which would be a really fantastic, world to live in. I mean, there are people I know who are going to disagree with me completely, but it's like, well, you know what? This is not the world you want to live in. Fine, but I want to live in a world where that all that stuff doesn't matter, and it only matters if you're a good person and if you're teaching good values to your children.
True, and I think the rushers know that this show is a very inclusive show.
Yeah,
This is like the RuPaul's Drag Race of Philippine radio.
Oh my god, show! I cannot with that show. That's another show. I cannot with RuPaul's Drag Race. It's the best. I end up either laughing, like everybody in my house can hear me when I'm watching that show because I'm screaming. I'm screaming at my TV. It's like oh my gosh, and the without spoilers, it's like the top the queens they have for like the final. It's for the finale. It's gonna be epic,
my gosh.
And they're so good, so good, so good. It's so good.
If you told me that, I think a lot of our listeners, if we told them that Lea Salonga watches She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, they would probably wouldn't have thought that that was a thing. What about music? What do you think will your fans be surprised that you're into? Something that's very atypical, or they might be shocked to find out you're into, whether it's a genre or an artist or a song. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised. I think a lot of singers listen to just about everything anyway. Whether it's for research, whether it's for, this is an artist that such and such told me about, I should listen to them. Yeah, I mean, I'm not into Rage Against the Machine, anything like that. My husband is. And then I'm like, okay. But yeah, and then there's the Deftones. I thought there was an album cover. It's like, this looks interesting. And the calligraphy was beautiful. And then I think I stuck the CD into the player, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this? Yeah, I was like, doesn't match the album cover. Okay, but maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point. Yeah, so there's things that I'm like, I might need a little warming up to, but I listen to mostly everything, so I don't think anything would be a surprise. I don't think. Yeah.
But so would you have like a morning playlist, like when you listen or when you drink your coffee or tea?
Oh no, for the morning, sometimes I'll listen to podcasts. I found myself gravitating towards NPR. Like they have a coronavirus daily, which is like just about maybe 10 minutes long, if that, which is like a digest of certain podcasts of other programs they have on NPR that other listeners could listen to, and the voices are so calming.
Yes,
it's not like
listening to NPR too.
Yeah, NPR.
Do you like ASMR as well?
My daughter does. She likes ASMR. That's a little too whispery naman for me. Like I fall asleep watching Forensic Files. That's the stuff I kind of fall asleep.
Oh my gosh.
It's the narrator. It's the narrator. The narrator just has this voice. If I need to like find out what else he does.
Are you into like crime and like mystery as well?
More, crime and suspense. I can't do horror. I can't. Right. Which is why I think I'm reluctant to kind of continue on with this show called Kingdom.
The Korean one.
Nice.
Yeah, the Korean series called Kingdom. People are like, watch it. You have to watch it. And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't like jump scares. I hate things like that. But I do like suspense. I mean, I was great with Silence of the Lambs. It was interesting, and I liked Mindhunter. That was another good one.
Oh yes.
How about
God.
Gone Girl?
Oh yes, that was so
Right?
good.
Oh, I love Gone Girl.
Yes, Gone Girl was so good. So yeah, that kind of stuff where it's more of where it kind of messes with you a little bit psychologically
Mhm.
rather than just gratuitous, scare fest. I'm kind of not into that. The Ring kind of turned me off from the
Yeah.
horror genre. I mean,
Oh, no.
I mean, when you
But
see
it was
this
the
thing
biggest
crawling out
thing.
of the TV, that was like, no, 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 I do not have my happy ending. It's like, no, this is
You know,
not what I
speaking-
want.
Speaking of COVID, congratulations on your amazing Facebook Live performance, and
Oh,
you know,
thank you.
and like
Yeah.
super, getting like a record amount of money in just like an hour and so on.
Yeah.
The kind of performance. Did you expect that kind of response? That was amazing.
No. I don't
That
think
was
anybody
amazing.
did. Yeah. I think I don't think any of us expected anything. That's why a lot of us were signing up en masse to be a part of it. So that even if say one artist was able to get say like 50 or even 100 or even 100 felt like it was so difficult to reach to get that individual goal. So there were so many of us that signed up so that at least there would be, I guess there would be like safety in numbers kind of a thing where the more of us sign up, the more money we'll be able to raise for this effort. And then when I saw my numbers going up, it was really, really fun to watch. And that was just like the donate button for one charity, just for PIA, which is Philippine International Aid. And then there's like, I don't even know if we've counted for that particular live stream, if we've counted anybody's donations to PayMaya or via GCash. So it was crazy. It was so crazy. But Bayanihan Musikahan has been able to raise. Did it hit over 70 million pesos now by now? Probably. Yeah. And this is all of the artists. This is all of the efforts. This is all of the corporate sponsors. This is everyone that donated. Like every single person that donated. It's like if it's like say 70, maybe 65-70% of the population of the Philippines each donated 1 peso to this. That's how huge this effort turned out to be. And and it's true what they say. It's like there's no such thing as an amount that's too small because it all adds up. And my gosh, it added up. And so many people have gotten help. A lot of frontliners got help. And even the Artists Welfare Project got some help out of it also. Because the live entertainment industry is, well, it's pretty much non-existent for this year. So there's a lot of people in this industry also that need a lot of help.
You don't speak. Oh yeah.
We were talking about a certain concert that was produced over the weekend. See, John Legend came out with a virtual reality show. So he shot it, and people can watch with their virtual glasses.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so that's amazing. I think that could be a great step forward for a lot of live performers and for the theater,
it's
even
like
if you
being
think
in a
about
theater.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, because it's like being there. Oh my gosh! Yeah. Of course, everybody would then have to pay for the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that. I mean, there's Oculus. There's, I think, Sony VR. I don't know that the Xbox has anything like that yet, but yeah, if people can get the equipment, if people can shoot, theatrical productions, whether it's a musical or what, with that kind of thing in mind, then people can literally sit at home and watch their favorite shows as if they're like sitting in the theater. There has to be a way to figure out how to, monetize that also. Because I mean, all these dancers, singers, actors, crew people, directors, producers, choreographers, makeup artists, costume designers, they all have to get paid.
Exactly.
So if there's a way to figure out how to turn that into something where for people at home, if they pay like $50 and if it's live and if it's actually live, or at least filmed as live, then there might be something to it. So it's I think something that a lot of tech people and creatives need to think about. Yeah.
But I mean, at
that
least
might be
there's that
interesting.
effort,
But yeah,
right? You know.
yeah, at least
Yeah.
there's a, and technology is continuing to advance so quickly, and so you never know. That might be the theater of the future. But theater in and of itself, it's still such a collaborative art form. Marky knows this. I know this. I mean, we work
Yeah.
with Atlantis, so much, and it's something that I think will come back, as in creating the form and getting together to make these things happen. It's what will the audience experience be? So that I think is what we all have to think about
Yeah.
now.
It's one of the oldest art forms, and it's never going to die.
Yes.
As much as you think
No,
that
it's not.
it's never ever going to die. Live performance is, it's a different experience. It's something
Yes.
that it's different every single time you go on that stage and you
Yeah.
perform. You create something new, even if it's pegged a certain way. There's always something new that'll happen, and it's always fun
Yes.
to work with all the weird
Yeah.
things that happen on stage, like a miscue or a missed line. Oh my gosh, those are so much
Yeah.
fun to work
Forgotten props, like
with. Fallen props, right?
like you and your deck of cards. Apparently,
Oh
it's
my
a
gosh.
legend. The story in Atlantis, it's like Marky and his deck of cards or something like that. I'm like, what? And apparently it was integral to the story, or
Jersey
it
boy.
had something to
Pick
do
that.
with you. So it was like, oh my God, that poor man. Oh, that
Yeah.
poor man.
because I had to do a trick, right, on stage.
Yeah.
It was like, if it
Mhm.
goes wrong. And luckily I was with Noy Volante, who's, a card trick master.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ñoy
So
Volante.
I was also a little scared because I was like, what if I do this wrong and I'm in front of
Oh
the
my gosh.
card trick king, right?
Oh my
So-
gosh. He's ridiculous. One of the most, I don't think I could say this enough. He's definitely one of the most talented human beings ever.
Oh my
And
God.
his versatility, his sense of humor, and his timing on stage. Oh my gosh, him and Sweeney Todd. It's like, you just never know what you're going to get when he starts to perform. And then he's also so kind. He also
Yeah.
is one of the kindest human beings. And yeah, it's so if I could do every show, every like musical with him, I'd be very, very happy. It
But
might
I
might
think-
kill Bobby Garcia, but it would make me very, very happy.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
Bobby would be like,
you
you're
know,
giving me
like-
ulcers.
Rika and I watched Sweeney Todd together, and we were on the front. We were at the front row. We were just
Oh,
in
no.
awe.
Oh,
And
why? Why
we
did
were
you?
like,
Why did you
wow.
decide to sit in the front row?
we wanted to take in, everything,
everything.
the whole experience.
I
was amazing.
remember when I
amazing,
saw Leia after Sweeney Todd, I was like on the floor. I was like, what? You're not the same person that I saw on that stage. Oh my gosh.
Can I just say, Leia,
Yeah.
for you, I took ng cast from Ortigas Center all the way to the
Yeah.
theater just to make it. Because I literally took ng cast, and when I got there, like, my butt was numb, and I was like, it's okay, it's all good. At least I'm gonna make it to the show.
You know what? One of the reasons why I
Yay.
also wanted to sit at the front is because I really wanted to see the makeup. And Sweeney Todd is like a kind of heavy makeup.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I'm passionate about theater makeup, and it was amazing just seeing it up close. I mean, the
Yeah,
closest I
like
could get.
we had a really great makeup crew that took care of us. Leslie Espinosa was our designer, and yeah, hair and makeup. She did both.
Oh wow, she did both.
And she did both.
Wow.
And when we had Jet and I had JD Jasa to take care of the both of us exclusively. And then there was a whole other crew in the basement of Soler taking care of everybody else. And then when we all saw each other for the first time in full makeup, it was like, oh my God, this is oh my, yeah. And everybody had to like go up close to people just to see what the makeup artists did. And then there were those who were trying to replicate the looks on their own so that, the makeup artist can also rest. And so it was just such a dream to be a part of that show. And the makeup really helps with with the character you're playing, because it's so far removed from whoever any of us is, that the makeup helped to push us a little bit further. It was
The
so
costumes
much
are
fun.
pretty awesome too. I wanted to get red
Yeah,
drop
Rahul
leggings
Laurel.
after watching.
Yeah,
Bravo.
also I actually want those red Doc Martens. I think it's called Oxblood. That's the color. Yeah, but the gold ones are actually it was a cream colored boot, spray painted gold, and so I think the crew had to spray paint those every so often just to maintain the shine on them.
I don't know if you heard, but Rahul Laurel has a parang fashion show coming out.
Yes, he does.
Oh,
I think it's because tomorrow's his birthday. Yeah, tomorrow is his birthday.
So that's amazing.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, everyone is innovating. Everyone is trying to get to where they were before quarantine.
Yeah,
but with
it's
a
hard.
different
It's
outlook. Right?
yeah. And I mean, none of us can go out, and his profession is to design clothes to make women feel beautiful at their weddings or at formal events or whatever event. He does a lot of my clothes for when I do concerts. So it's like, if I don't have any of these things to do, what happens also to people like him, to costume designers and fashion designers, when their clients have nowhere to go? Well, I guess we have to start creating places to go so that even they will have outlets for their own creativity and be able to design for people again. This is a tough time, and you think that one business is isolated. It's like, no, there are so many other like peripheral connected people, and it's like we are all in this boat together. So this is going to be an interesting time for everybody.
Actually, it's really nice that Instagram is doing that support local tag, wherein you just click on that Instagram story and everybody who tagged their, the business that they want to support, it's all there.
Yeah.
Right? It's really nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's yeah.
A couple of years ago, you went viral with during an interview with the whole Totga thing. Remember that? So
oh my God!
What
Yeah.
about with Aga, right? So, but what about like in terms of projects? Was there something not necessarily limited to the projects that were actually offered to you, but in general? Let's cast the net wide. What's that Totga for you in terms of project that you wish you were able to do?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I really don't know. I guess I tend to treat something that I don't get or I don't get to be a part of as, oh well, it's one of those things that happens to everybody. I don't think there's anything like that. I try not to dwell on what could have been. I'd rather think about the good. I'd rather think of like the good memories of what was and what actually happened, rather than dwell on what could have been. It just feels so wasteful of one's energy, to kind of marinate in thoughts like that. I'd much rather think of, kung ano na yung nangyari na maganda that I got to be a part of, because that's concrete. That's concrete in my head.
And
Nice.
We'd rather marinate chicken, right?
with all the
Yes.
amazing,
That's true.
that's
The Morning Rush. The Morning Rush. The landmark morning radio program on Philippine FM Radio. Winner of multiple KBP Golden Dove Awards for Best Radio Comedy Program. Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1.